The last class we saw, what are things we saw? Locus and the shift of origin. Okay. So locus is what means it is a points in a coordinate system, two dimension, a plane which follows a certain condition. We saw some condition for circle. The distance between the point with the origin or any point has to be always same. And then we saw what is the perpendicular bisector, angular bisector, and all we saw. And what is a simple locus? If I want to put up a question, can you tell me any simple locus? X plus y equal to 7. Correct, that's okay. You're right. X plus y equal to 7. What is that? It will be a straight line. Correct? So a simple locus is a straight line. Okay, so what will we have? So we are having a coordinate system. This is x and this is minus x. This is y and this is minus y. Okay, fine. So let us draw a simple locus. The simple locus is nothing but a straight line. Okay, so let me draw a straight line. So let us say, for example, this is a straight line which is a simple locus. Okay, so and now this is having some property. What is that? So let us try to identify what are the properties. What are the certain properties and some quantities we will define from here. So one is, you can see they intersect on the x-axis and the y-axis, right? So what will be, suppose for example, this point, what will be this point? What will be the x-coordinate? Let us take it A, comma, what will be the y-coordinate? 0, A, comma 0. And whereas this point will be? 0, yeah, 0, comma B, let us call. Okay. So then the terminology. The point where it intersects the x-axis, this is called as your x-intercept. Similarly, the point where it intersects with the y-axis is called as your y-intercept. Okay. So, so this is your x-intercept and y-intercept. Okay. So, and that's all. So now let me draw another line. Okay. So, okay. For example, I am going to have another line. So in this case, your x-intercept and y-intercept are positive, right? This is A and this is B. Can your intercept can be negative also? Oh, if you draw like this, right? So for this one, this is your, so if this is the line, so and your x-intercept will be here, correct? X-intercept is positive and y-intercept is negative. Can you have x-intercept negative and y-intercept positive? Here? Correct. Okay, so here what happened? Your the x-intercept is negative and y-intercept is positive. Similarly, if you have a line here, both of them will be negative in this case. Got it? Both of the x-intercept, y-intercept, both are negative here. Can there the place x-intercept and y-intercept be this intercepts can be 0? Can that be 0? I want to have, yes, correct. If the line is passing through the origin, okay, so something like this. If the line is passing through the origin, so then the intercept is what? They are 0. Okay, so these are the certain, so this is the terminology we will use. Okay, this is called as a y-intercept and x-intercept. And then the next term, okay, let me clean it up. Okay, so we don't need a lot many lines. So we know that now we know the x-intercept, y-intercept can be positive, negative, all those things. Okay, so and so your straight line can be defined by your x-intercept and your y-intercept. And because if I give you x-intercept and y-intercept, you can draw the line. You don't need anything, you just join. Okay, so there's other terms also we can use. What are the other term we can use? So if I have the coordinate system, this is x minus x, y, and this is minus y, and this is origin. So now, if we have a straight line, something let me draw the straight line like this here. Okay, and then I can define an angle also, correct? So what we call, I can define the angle from the positive x-axis, anti-clockwise angle, and I call that as a theta. Okay, and this angle you call as what? Inclination angle. This theta you call it as a inclination angle. Okay, so what is inclination angle? That is the angle from the positive x-axis to the straight line, anti-clockwise you have to go. Okay, so, and there's one more term, this should be smallest angle. Why do they mean by smallest angle is, so you can have a line like this also. How we can do it out. Wait, see, this angle you can see, this angle can go from, if the line is along x-axis, what will be the line angle? 0. And if it goes up to here, it will become 180. Okay, so that's what your angle will be from 0 to 180 degree. Okay, so if it goes like this, suppose your line is like this. Okay, you shouldn't take the angle from here to here. Okay, this is what they mean by smallest angle. You shouldn't take the line from here to here. So the angle can have maximum value of 0 to 180 degree. Okay, so I can tell this angle is this angle also, or I can tell be like this also, correct? So now this is not the smallest angle, so this is the smallest angle. So that's what you defined as your inclination angle. Okay, so we will not use this angle as inclination angle, we will use only the smallest angle. So your theta will be less than or equal to 0, less than or equal to 180 degree. Okay, so yeah, in fact they don't take it as 180 because 180 will go becomes again, when it becomes 180 then you will take it as a 0 only. You got it, nah? So when this line becomes 180 then you take this angle. 180 becomes smaller, this angle becomes 0. So you take only 0. So it will be 0, it will be 0 or less than 180. It won't be equal to 180. You shouldn't write it equal to. I wrongly wrote as 1 equal to. You understand what I am saying? Nah? See, the line point is, if suppose 180 degree means what? The line will be along this direction, correct? And then the other end also will be this direction. So you have two angles now, correct? One is, you can take this angle, which is 180 degree, or this angle, that is 0 degree, which is the smallest, 0, right? You have to take the 0. That's what 180 degree it won't come. Okay, so these symbols are all important, less than, equal to, and less than. Mathematically, they are all very important. So this is the inclination angle. Now, can you tell me what is the inclination angle of x-axis? I am asking your x-axis, right? What is the inclination angle? Define inclination angle. Inclination angle is the angle between the positive x-axis and the line, right? And if the line is along x-axis, what will be the... Correct, that's what you should say, na? Okay. So what is that? The inclination angle of a x-axis is what? 0. And inclination angle of y-axis will be? 90 degree. Okay. So that's what you have to answer. Okay. So these are the only 2 points you should know. Inclination angle. Okay. And there's an interesting thing also. And one more interesting thing is, if I draw any line parallel to this line. Yeah, so this is, I wanted to show you here, this is not the inclination angle. So this is the inclination angle. Okay. So this is the inclination angle. This is the theta here. Okay. So now I have a line parallel to this line. What will be the inclination angle? So let me have a line parallel to this line. It will be the same, correct? The inclination angle will be same for parallel lines. So this also will be the same theta. Okay, and for here if I want to write, so I should write here theta 1, theta 2, theta 2. Okay, similarly, if I draw a line parallel to this one, this will be again theta 1. Okay, so this will be theta 1. Okay, that's our 2 points. Okay, the point is the two lines are parallel if and only if they have the same inclination angle. Correct? Even with the y-axis, any line will be parallel to y-axis if they both have the same inclination angle, 90 degree. Similarly for x-axis also. Okay, any line, see, your x-axis has inclination angle of 0. If I draw any line parallel to x-axis, so you know what is inclination angle definition? The angle between the line and the positive x-axis line. When it's parallel, they don't intersect, correct? So you may have what is the angle? The angle cannot be defined as somewhere else. Okay, so and there is a something, I think, whether I explained you earlier in your class, two parallel lines. Where will the two parallel lines intersect? At infinity. Okay, so when you go to infinity, okay, so and so then if it's infinity, what should be its angle? Okay, let me explain. It's very simple. It's not very complicated. So what happened? Let us go back to the first chapter. So this is the angle, right? So if you have an angle theta, if this is r and this is arc length L, okay? So L equal to what? R theta, correct? If it is in radians or something like that, okay? Or theta equal to L divided by R, okay? Where R is the length. Yeah, when the parallel line, the line is going to intersect at infinity, correct? So when you put R as infinity, theta becomes 0. Okay, so that's why any line parallel to x-axis also angle is 0. Okay, so this is one of the important condition. Two lines are parallel only if and only if the inclination angles are same for both the lines. Okay, fine. And then we can have another term that is something very important term which they use for a straight line. In fact, that's an important quantity which defines a straight line. That's you call as the slope of a straight line. Okay, slope. What is that? Okay, slope. Slope is what? Slope, we define, symbol is m. Usually they write it as m. M is nothing but tan of your inclination angle. So let us try to see what will be the tan of an inclination angle. Okay, so what I am going to do, let us draw. Let us draw this one. What do we have? This is our x and this is our y, this is origin. So we had one line, right? Let us go back to our original initial line. So what is this point we have said? This point is a comma 0, correct? And this point is 0 comma b. And what is the inclination angle? This is the inclination angle, correct? Theta. So what will be this angle? Tell me.
180 minus theta.
Pi minus theta. Okay, we will use radians. Okay, we can use 180 also. In radians it is pi minus theta. That's what the trigonometry we learned in pi formula. Okay, pi minus theta. So now tell me, what is this distance?
B.
This distance is b. And what is this distance? A. Okay, so let us take tan of pi minus theta equal to what? Opposite side by the adjacent side. Correct. So this will be what? B by A. Now what is pi minus theta? Comes in which quadrant? First, second. All silver. Sign will be positive, tan will be negative. Correct. So this will be what? Minus tan theta equal to B by A. Right? Therefore, tan theta will be equal to what? Minus B by A. Therefore, slope m is equal to minus B by A. This is only if you know the x-intercept and y-intercept of a straight line. Okay. Okay. So this is the slope when you are given y-intercept and the x-intercept, correct? So but in reality, you don't need to give y-intercept and x-intercept. Without giving y-intercept, x-intercept also, you can actually find out the slope of the straight line. Okay, how do you find the slope of the straight line? Let me do y and minus y. Means if you give any 2 points on the line, you can actually identify the any 2 points on the line if I give you, then you can find the slope of the straight line. How will you find the slope of the straight? Let me take this point. I am giving this point. So this point be x1, comma y1. And let this point be, let me draw a bigger one. So then only always it will be confusing. Okay. So let me draw a bigger axis. So this is x, y, minus y and minus x. Okay. So we will draw a line, straight line like this. Okay. So I am going to give 2 points here. What are 2 points? Let me take one point be here, that is x1, comma y1, and another point here x2, comma y2. Okay. So now we want to find out the slope of the straight line. Slope of the straight line is what? Tan of the inclination angle. What is the inclination angle? This is the inclination angle theta. Okay, so tan of this inclination angle is what we call as the slope of the straight line. So if I give you these 2 points, you can simply find out like this. Correct? Now I am not giving you these 2 intercepts. I am giving you any 2 points. It's not necessarily this point has to be here. This point can be here, here, wherever it is. Everywhere, when you can do it, you'll find for all points, we'll get the same formula. So now, how I am going to find that line is, so let me pass through this point x1, a line parallel to the x-axis. Okay? And similarly, here also. Okay, so then, what will be this angle? You tell me? Theta, because all these lines are parallel, correct? Theta. So now, what will be this distance?
y1.
y1. And what about this distance?
y2.
y2. Okay, so what will be this distance?
y1 minus y2.
y1 minus y2. Okay. So, and similarly, let me draw another line parallel to y-axis along this one, and another line parallel to y-axis along this point. So, tell me what will be this distance?
x2.
This is x2, correct? And tell me what is this distance?
x1.
x1. So, what will be this distance for us? This is the distance we require, right? Tell me. x2 minus x1. So, this distance is x2 minus x1, and this distance is y1 minus y2, correct? So, this angle will be what? Pi minus theta, correct? So, now we have to find out the slope of it. What is the slope? M equal to tan theta. Okay, let us try to see. Let us try to take the tan of this angle. What is the tan of that angle? Tan of pi minus theta will be equal to what? Opposite side by the adjacent side. So what is that? y1 minus y2 divided by x2 minus x1. Now tan pi minus theta is again in the second quadrant. So it becomes, so it is minus tan theta equal to y1 minus y2 divided by x2 minus x1, or tan theta, if I take minus here, correct, y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1, correct? Therefore, the slope will have the formula y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So, this is the slope of a straight line. Okay. So, what are the quantities we have seen? A straight line has a x-intercept, y-intercept, and the slope also. Okay. And now, okay, so this is what we got for this. Yeah, okay. Then you can we can extend it also. What will be the slope of your x-axis? Tell me. Tan theta, na?
Opposite side is 0.
0, correct. Slope will be 0. Slope will be 0. And your y-axis will be 90 degree. Tan of 90 degree is not defined. Undefined. So, we don't have a definition defined for the slope of y is undefined, whereas slope of x is 0. Okay. Can you tell me any line, parallel line, will the slope be equal? I am going to draw a line parallel to this one. For example, let me have a line parallel to this line. It is not looking parallel, but it will be parallel.
It will be.
It will be, no? Because this angle is going to be same. We saw the inclination angle is same, correct? So, of course, naturally this also will be same. Okay, all parallel lines, since inclination angle for a parallel lines are going to be same, the slope is also going to be same for all the lines. Okay, so and that's what we know about the straight line. These are the three important quantities which define the straight lines. Okay, so now and okay, so and so the straight line is defined by any two quantities. Either you can give your x-intercept and y-intercept, or you can give slope and y-intercept, or anything you can do. Okay. So and so now I am, suppose for example, I am not giving x-intercept. I am just giving you slopes of the line. I am giving you slope of two lines. You see, the slope is basically connected within the angle. Correct? The slope is number tan angle. So, if I give you a slope of two lines, and then with the slope of two lines, you can actually tell what will be the angle between the two lines where they are intersecting. Okay, because that's what angle is information we want to give, right? So, let us try to see how we are going to find that. For example, first let us do for the case of when the two lines intersect 90 degree. Okay, we are not going to do for the x-axis and y-axis, lines parallel to x-axis and y-axis, because why we can't do it? Because the slope of the line parallel to y-axis is undefined. Then we can't put up a condition there. Okay, so we are not going to deal with the vertical lines. Okay, we will go for non-vertical lines. Okay, and then let us try to find out what will be the relation between the slope means what, how the angle between those two lines are related to the slope of the two lines. So what am I going to do is, I am going to give you two lines. Let this be one line, and let us draw another line, maybe here like this. Fine. Now my first condition is, I am going to make, let us see if the lines are intersecting at 90 degree. So, if this line's angle is 90 degree, let us try to find out what will be the condition of the slopes. Okay. So, this line slope is related to m1, and this line slope I am going to write m2. Okay. So, that means this angle is theta 1 and this angle is theta 2. Right? It can be other way also, wherever you can write out. Okay. So, now okay, so what is the slope you have? Then m1 is tan theta 1, correct? And m2 will be tan theta 2. So now you can, from this itself you can find out an angle. What will be this angle? Tell me.
180 minus tan
Pi minus theta 1. Okay, pi minus theta 1. So now you know this is a triangle, right? So let me call this as A, B, and C. Sum of the angles should be equal to 180 degree. So therefore, pi minus theta 1 plus theta 2 plus 90 should be, plus 90 is pi by 2. Okay, pi by 2 should be equal to pi. Okay, so first of all this pi cancels off. Correct? So what you are going to get? So then if I take this pi by 2 here, so what will you have? Theta 2 minus theta 1 equal to minus pi by 2.
theta 1 minus theta 2 equal to pi by 2.
Pardon?
Theta 1 minus
Correct, that we also can write. It doesn't matter for us. Okay, because pi by 2. See, that's what, because since I taken this as theta 1 and this as theta 2. If I take this as theta 2 and this as theta 1, then it will just change the sign. Then it becomes plus also. Okay, so in fact what happened, the difference, what the people normally write is theta 2 minus theta 1, so not minus. See, there's a name, there's a symbol for difference. Theta 2 and theta 1 should be equal to plus or minus pi by 2. Okay, so we don't have to bother about this. Anyway, what happened? This is pi by 2. Plus or minus pi by 2, whatever it is. So, why I am saying we don't have to bother about is, let me take a cos of this, both sides. So, cos of theta 2 minus theta 1 equal to cos of minus pi by 2. Doesn't matter, pi by 2. Cos of minus theta is equal to cos theta. So, it doesn't matter for it. Okay. So, cos theta, cos of pi by 2 equal to how much?
cos I believe
0. Okay, so cos pi by 2 is equal to 0. Fine. So now this is cos A minus B formula. So what will be, tell me? Cos A minus B equal to
cos A cos B
cos A cos B plus sin A sin B, right? So cos theta 2 plus cos theta 1 plus sin theta 2 sin theta 1 will be equal to 0. Let us take this that side. So then what happened? Cos theta 2 cos theta 1 will be equal to minus sin theta 2 sin theta 1. Let me take this below. So what you are going to have? Okay, let me take it this one here. So what I will have, sin theta 2 into sin theta 1 divided by cos theta 2 cos theta 1 equal to minus 1. Correct? So what is sin theta by cos theta 2? Tan theta 2. Correct? Yeah, this will be what? Tan theta 1 into tan theta 2 is equal to minus 1. What is tan theta 1 theta 2? M1 M2. So M1 into M2 should be equal to minus 1. So you found a straight, two lines. Two lines are given. And now they are asking you what should be what is the angle between the two lines. So they give 2 points on the line. So they give you 4 points. If I give you 2 points on the line, then you can find out. So you can find out the slope of the line, correct? So how the find out slope again? How do you find the slope of the line? y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So by that you can find out the slope of both the lines. Now you have to show whether those lines are perpendicular or not. Okay, all you got to do is if you multiply M1 and M2. If the product becomes minus 1, then you say it is of course perpendicular. If it is not, then it is not perpendicular. Okay, so now let us take another condition. Now, this is the condition when the two lines are perpendicular to each other. Now I am saying what will happen if these lines are not perpendicular to each other. That means if they are having certain angle, let us say, what is the angle? Alpha we will call. Okay, if the angle is alpha, then how this alpha is going to be related to this angles or the slope of these two lines. You have to find out the alpha, how the alpha is related to the slope of these lines. Okay, so intersection between two lines, angle, right? So this can be either this alpha or the alpha you can mention it like this also. Correct, that will be 180 minus alpha. Okay, so let us write. So then what happened? Then we will use again the angle, some property of the triangle. So what will we have? Let us first take this angle. What will be alpha plus theta 2 plus pi minus theta 1 will be equal to pi. Okay, therefore what it says? Alpha pi cancels off. Alpha equal to theta 1 minus theta 2. This is the one condition. By chance if the alpha is here, if you define this as alpha, so then what happened? We should have used different symbol, right? So let me call it as a beta. Actually it shouldn't, we shouldn't call it as a beta because it's the same angle, because all we are going to say is intersection between the two angles. So let us maintain alpha only. Okay, what I want to say is this alpha can be either this or this, because we are not defining. We are saying if the angles the lines are intersecting at a certain angle. There are two angles. So in this case, what happens? Suppose if I say this is the angle, then how will we relate this? Tell me. Suppose if this is the angle, then this angle will be how much? Pi minus alpha. Now we are going to have this angle some property, correct? So now this case what happened? You tell me. Pi minus alpha plus theta 2 plus pi minus theta 1 will be equal to pi, correct? So this pi goes off. Therefore, alpha, let us take the alpha. Alpha will be equal to, tell me, pi minus or plus theta 2 minus theta 1. Is that correct?
It will be minus pi. It will be theta 1 minus.
No, I taken the alpha this side.
Okay.
Correct?
Okay.
Am I right? If I take the alpha this side, what you are going to get is pi. Or you just check it out. Oh, but that's okay. That's okay. This is one. Okay. So your alpha can be both the cases. Am I right? So alpha can be either this or this. So let us take this is the case 1 and this is the case 2. So let us try to find out what's the case 1, how they are connected. So then let me take from 1, let me take tan on both sides. What am I going to do? Tan alpha will be equal to tan theta 1 minus theta 2. You know the formula for tan theta 1 minus theta 2?
Tan theta plus tan theta 1 plus tan theta 2.
Tan theta 1 plus tan theta 2
divided by 1 minus tan theta 1 tan theta 2.
Is that correct? You give the exactly opposite sign.
Okay, but minus.
This will be minus and this will be plus. Okay. So we know tan theta 1 is m1. So what is the formula? We are getting m1 minus m2 divided by 1 minus m1 m2. Okay. So this is the case when we do it from 1. So let us take for the case of 2. Tan alpha will be equal to tan of this whole angle, correct? So what will be that? Tan pi plus theta 2 minus theta 1. Am I right? So which quadrant it is? Pi plus 1. So tan, so this will be tan theta 2 minus theta 1, or I can write it as minus tan theta 1 minus theta 2. Okay, so we know tan theta 1 meter is the same thing, correct? So this will be minus of m1 minus m2 divided by 1 plus, sorry, this is 1 plus m1 m2. Okay, so either of the cases. So if you want to take this angle as alpha, then this will be the answer. If you take this angle as alpha, then this will be the answer. So in general, what you can write as a mod of it. Okay, so either of the one you can take. So therefore, what they write it is typically your tan alpha plus minus take it mod. Okay, m1 minus m2 divided by 1 plus m1 m2. Now remember, this formula is not universal. Why I say it is not universal is this is not satisfied for all angles. For example, if m1 and m2 are, if these two lines are perpendicular, intersects at 90 degrees, then will this be valid?
No, because m1 m2 is equal to
minus 1. So 1 minus 1 it becomes 0, it becomes, you can't define it. Okay. So this is only when your angles are acute, not 90 degree. Okay. So then only this formula satisfies. Okay. So, and this is the, so this is what, so by this, so one of the advantage of dealing with this slope is important thing is, if you are given the slope of the lines, it is very easy to identify the angle between the lines. Okay, so if I give you 2 line slope, if you multiply it, if it is minus 1, then you can tell it is 90 degree. If it is not -1, just do this formula. Difference m1 minus m2 to 1 plus m1 m2. That gives you the angle between the lines. Okay, that's why the slope formula is important. Even though in x-intercept and y-intercept you can define the line, the moment you provide the slope, it actually can relate with your all the angles. This is the lines in the planar geometry. Okay, so that's what is important for your this one. Shall we do some problems? I think these problems are simpler. I am not going to do many of the problems. It may take one problem. One or two problems I will do. Find the slope of the line which passes through the points the points A2, 4 and B5, 7. Can you tell me what is the answer for it? Yes, you also do. That's right. Solution. This is very simple, right? What is the slope? They give 2 points. You know the formula for slope. M equal to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So what is y2? 7. Let us take this is x2, y2. So this is 7 minus 4 divided by 5 minus 2. So 7 minus 4 how much? 3. 5 minus 2? 3. That's equal to 1. The slope of the line is 1. A 1, 2, B 2, 3 and C minus 2, 5 are the vertices of triangle ABC. Okay. Find the slope of the altitude drawn from A. Find the slope of the altitude drawn from, you understand what the problem is? It's easy, yeah. So what you have to do is basically see, the point is,
Find the midpoint of BC.
no need to find the midpoint. No, you have to find altitude, na?
Right.
See, for example, this is suppose I am doing A, B, C, and just drawing. It may be wrong. If you drop the altitude drawn from A, you have to find out the slope of this line. Okay, that means if suppose if this line, what is the angle made with the coordinate system? We have to do that. Okay, so it's always better we will draw. See, these problems you have to make a rough coordinate system. If you draw, then it makes it easier life. So what is that? They given 1, 2. So let us take this is 1 and this is 2. Okay. So this point is A, that is 1, 2. Second one is 2, 3. That is, this is 2 and 3 is somewhere else here. We will write. Okay. Fine. And then the third point is minus 2, 5. Oh my God. They written here. Minus 2 and 5 here. Am I right? Something like this. So what I written, this is 2, 3, that is B, and this is C, that is minus 2, 5. So if this is the triangle they have. Okay. So the altitude is, you have to draw the altitude from here, which is 90 degree, and this slope of this line, this theta, and slope of this line you have to find out. Okay. So how will you find out? Tell me. Okay. Solution. So the idea how to do is, you understand the idea? See, find out BC, slope of BC. the altitude from A, what will be this angle? 90 degree. Therefore, suppose if this is M1 and if this is M2, M2 should be equal to minus 1. You got it? What you can find out M1. All you have to find out is M2. M2 will be negative of that. Am I right? So that's a simple. So you have to find out the slope of BC. Of BC will be equal to what? Y2 minus Y1. So that will be what? 3 minus 5 divided by 2 minus of minus 2. Okay? Am I right? 3 minus 5, 2 minus of minus 2. Yeah. 3 minus 5 is minus 2 divided by 2 plus 2 is 4. So it's equal to minus half. Therefore, the slope, let me write this as ABCD. AD is perpendicular to BC. Therefore, slope of AD will be equal to minus the slope of
Minus 1.
Of
1 by
BC.
minus. 1 by minus.
What happened? I did it wrong?
M1 is equal to minus 1 divided by M2.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, sorry. Minus 1 divided by, minus 1 divided by the slope of BC, correct? Yeah, that will be what? Minus divided by 1 by minus 2, that is minus 2 by 1 equal to 2. Let us do this problem, okay? If the angle between two lines is 45 degree and the slope of one of the line is half, find the slope of the other line. So let us do solution. So the angle, we have the formula. What is the formula? Tan, if the angle between the two lines is theta, will be what? M1 minus M2 divided by 1 plus M1 M2. Okay, mod of it is there. Okay, so given theta equal to what? 45 degree. Therefore, tan 45 degree is 1, right? And M1 is, let us take M1. So M1 also given M1 is equal to half. So therefore now this is mod. So this can be plus or minus, correct? So that means plus or minus 1 will be equal to M1 is half minus M2 divided by 1 plus M2 by half. So if I take 1 by half outside, this is going to become 1 minus 2M2 divided by 2 plus M2. Am I right? Because the 2 will get cancels off. So now, let us go for it. So let us take the first a positive value. What happened? 1 minus 2M2 divided by 2 plus M2 will be equal to plus 1. So this means 1 minus 2M2 will be equal to 2 plus M2. So if I take this M2 here and 1 here, minus 2M2 minus M2 will be equal to 2 minus 1, correct? So this is what? Minus 3M2 equal to 1. Therefore, M2 will be equal to minus 1 by 3, correct? Correct? Yes. So now let us take the next value. What will be the next value? Negative 1, right? 1 minus 2M2 upon 2 plus M2 here, right? Now 1 minus 2 plus 2 plus M2 will be equal to minus 1. So tell me what it will be. 1 minus 2M2 will be equal to minus 2 minus M2. So if I take it here, minus 2M2 plus M2 equal to minus 2 minus 1, right? So this will become minus M2 will be equal to minus 3. Therefore, M2 is equal to 3. Okay? So these two are the slopes of, the slopes can be two slopes. How? Why there's a two slopes? Can you tell me? See, I am giving you a coordinate system. Okay? So I have given one line. Say the slope is equal to M1. Now I am asking you, can you draw a line which is 45 degree? It intersects at 45 degree with respect to this line. Can you draw? You will draw like this, right? 45 degree. This is the only way you can draw?
You draw like that as well.
Like here also you can draw. Okay, how many lines you can draw? Basically 2 lines, right? Therefore you are having 2 slopes. Got it? Okay? So with this we will stop, do the rest of the exercise and let us see.